Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners.
Enjoy this presentation of the Jimmy Mack Healing Show.
Renowned medical, intuitive, and spiritual life coach. Visit www.jimmymackhealing.com.
Strap yourself in, because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
Hey everybody, Jimmy Mack coming to you live with another transmission and download to Jimmy Mack Healing Show. Hey, we're glad you're here. Thanks for everybody being on the show. Of course, join us here on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you can see us. And we're glad to be here live and see what we can mix up for you on video. So we will read in the comments there. And hopefully everybody's staying safe from tropical storms and COVID and everything else out there, the boogeyman himself. So happy to talk to you live, and we'll see what we can stir up for you. Also, we did have an audio MP3 that will be coming out officially tomorrow, and it's called The Creative. Yes, we got to quiet all the barking dogs. I love it. It's the full moon energy. Get that dog out of here. Make him go swimming or have fun. I love it. So anyway, tomorrow will be Wednesday. Of course, there'll be the release on The Creative. This is an audio MP3. We've been working on it for quite a while. If you're into acting, if you're an author, if you are a musician, artist, perhaps even intuitives and empaths. It's all about really reconnecting with your creative energies. And if you've been any part of this pandemic, I mean, you feel shut down. People are really not creative for the most part, and watching the shows and just kind of really bored out of our minds, right? So hopefully things will get better. And this audio MP3 that's coming out, that's going to take you a long way if you get into that. So join us. Go to jimmymackhealing.com. And you can sign up for our weekly newsletter, and all you need is your name and the email address where you want it sent to. We do send that out once a week. And so it's called TGI Wednesday, and that comes out tomorrow. So please join us for that. It will give you all the updates and all the shows and things that are going on. Also the replays. You can go to the jimmymackhealingshow.com. You'll see all these replays, the audios and the videos as well. And also, they're going to auto load into my YouTube channel. So if you aren't already subscribed to that, please do so. So lots going on. Psychic Joanne Leo with us today. Hey, Joanne, how are you?
I'm great, Jimmy. How are you?
Good. Glad for you to be here. Thank you so much. It's the first of the month. That's how I know you're here. Tell folks how to get a hold of you for a reading as well. Phone number, email.
Right. They can always get a hold of me texting or give me a jingle, 727-743-3400. Or my Gmail is psychicjoanneleo@gmail.com. And I also have a website that tells you all about what I do, and that's psychicjoanneleo.com. And it's JOANNE.
Got it. And I see it on the screen as well. So that's very helpful. Hey, I have to compliment you, make you laugh a little bit. You told me for the longest time that you saw a new baby around me, and I thought you've lost your ever-loving mind because I know I'm fixed and my girlfriend's half my age, and that ain't happening. So she's got a daughter, and so I knew that wasn't going to be it. And then I thought, well, Hunter's fixed too now, so who in the world could be having a baby? And my oldest called me out of the blue, and he said, we're expecting a new addition to the family. And they're in their 30s, so I'm going, do you mean, like, did you get another dog? Are you talking about a cat? It's a new addition to the family. He goes, no, we're pregnant. And I mean, you could have knocked me over with a feather over that, right? Because of all people, we never dreamed. You know, my oldest has a son. Gosh, I think he's now 12 anyway, 12 or 13. It's creeping up on me. And then a daughter as well, who's gorgeous, Ella Grace, and then Hutch. So just amazing. So I thought that was so cool and funny. So I knew you need to laugh over that, right?
Well,
So
that makes
you can't make it up in the cards and the
no,
numerology, all
no.
that.
I
It's
know
like it's there,
you thought I
right?
was nuts. You thought I was nuts,
Yeah.
but
Well, I
that
just thought, what in the world would you be telling me that for? Because I know I'm fixed. And I knew it
well,
wasn't me, and Hunter is too. So, but we never dreamed, that Christian would be the one. So there you go. So that's kind of
well,
me tooting
Jimmy,
your own horn for you.
that makes number 20 baby that I predicted. I predicted 2 sets of twins too.
Your ultimate laugh and all that is I do great on total strangers. If you're a couple in Michigan and you want to know if you're having a boy or a girl and you want to know the due date or the delivery week, I can tell you. If it's my own family, I'm batting about 0. I about cried when my youngest had Blake and it was a girl. And I just couldn't believe they were having another girl because I swore it was a boy. I think I was sad moped around for 3 days. And so for the longest time, Christian thought they were having a boy, and I said boy all day long, and they're having a girl. Isn't that funny? So,
Yeah.
of course, their daughter's way too old to hand down any baby clothes, right? So that ain't happening. So how funny is that, though? But what a hoot. But anyway, so thank you for that. I wouldn't say it. It can show up too beyond that. I mean, you can let folks know too. It can be a new business, a new venture. You can see that as that
Right.
beyond a new baby. So
Yes.
you always said baby, baby, and I was like, you've lost your mind, woman. There's no way I'm having a baby. So nobody I know is having a baby, and here we are. So isn't that cute and funny? What a great story.
Well, it is because I've read your children and your family
Forever.
for
Yeah,
20
for
something
forever.
years. So,
That's right.
yeah,
That's exactly right. Maybe 30. So how funny is that?
could be 30.
Yeah, over 30. So how are you doing? What's going on with you?
Well, I'm trying to make progress. I had a virus a year and a half ago. And if it wasn't for you bringing me from the brink of death, that's the truth. For the people out there that don't know, Jimmy literally called me every single day and did work on me every single night.
Mm-hmm.
I still have trouble with exertion and oxygen levels, but I'm getting better, and I'm really trying to consciously get this weight off of me because with inactivity, and I quit smoking, so I feel like I'm on the right path. It's just that it's a work in progress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's just part of it. We've all been through
Mhm.
something like that. That's how I had my near-death experience, same way. And it's horrible if you can't breathe. That's the worst. You don't have
Oh
a
my goodness,
elephant sitting on your chest. It feels like 2 elephants sitting on your chest, right? So
it's so true.
yeah,
It's so
so
true.
I've lived it, and I know what you're saying. And so certainly you of all people, in this day and age, I mean, we don't want to be heavy into conspiracy theory or running around with masks on our heads or whatever. But, anybody that has all this stuff going on, you certainly need to be very, very, very careful. So even if you go to the grocery store or whatever, you definitely want to mask up and have some social distancing going on, because you can't afford to have something that catastrophic if it goes sideways. I know I read everything about it, and less than a 1% death rate and all that, but who wants to risk it, right? So
Well,
you definitely need to be careful in
yeah.
all you do, and I'm the same way. And my one of my best friends is down in Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and he's had half a lung taken out and diabetes and overweight and just breathing issues. And I'm about telling him, don't even go outside. It's like have things delivered at this point, because, for a lot of people, that'd be the end. So just saying.
Well, that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I have managed to do, have groceries delivered, and of course I disinfect everything outside. Or Frank has to do it because I don't have the inertia to do it. But I just have to be very careful. A mask is not for people with asthma or lung issues because it chokes you. So I've pretty much been in, but I've been doing the virtual things like this, which has been fabulous.
Good.
Because it's still a social contact, and I love my clients and doing shows like this. certainly can keep people out of the doldrums. You don't want to go into depression. I feel like this isn't forever, so we have to be smart about things.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to be very, cautious. I do feel that there's, a light at the end of the tunnel. I just think we have to be very mindful. And I think, here's an interesting thing that I know you were raised that way because I knew your mama, and I knew your mama very well. We were taught to respect our elders, be mindful, there's a time to say things or not say things, or, kind of just put it on the shelf because they were older and you needed to respect them. Well, I think this is a good thing for teaching young children, that the elderly are the ones that need to be nurtured a little bit more, like we have our children over the years, and being mindful of that. So
Yeah,
I think there's a good lesson here on that.
I think so. And they're definitely treasures. They're treasures of history and wisdom and all the things that have gone on before. So
Right.
definitely I'm there with you 100%. And especially if they're in the long-term care setting, they definitely need all the help they can get. So yeah, I'd agree with you. Fabulous. What have you played with the cards and the numerology? And I mean, we don't talk politics or whatever, but what have you seen as far as, you think there'll be a second wave intuitively? You think we're winding this thing down? As my father said to me at my wedding reception, let's wind this thing down. How funny is that? A couple months to go. Rest of the year is going to be horrible. I mean, if you had to guess.
Well, I think up until November, it's going to be a roller coaster. Okay. And I just tell people, first of all, you got to stand strong in faith. Okay. That's number one. I feel like there's going to be some other monkey wrenches thrown our way, just to see, and I have to believe this, and it came in my meditation too. What's really incredible about this country is people have American grit. We have that grit, we have that survivor kind of thing, like when 9/11 happened, or
Right.
the shuttle. And I mean, people just gravitate, and your neighbor helps neighbor, all that kind of good stuff. I think that this is a good lesson for us to, definitely looking at our neighbors or whatever. I do feel that there's going to be another cruncher. Okay. And I don't know if it's a wave or there could be another economic glitch here. Do I want to say lockdown? I don't know, but it could be. I feel that there's some forces that are working against this time frame up until November 3rd. And I don't want to get political either, but I've looked at the numbers, I've looked at the cycles, and the word treachery keeps coming up. In some of those numbers. Restriction, it's a restriction number.
Yeah.
And so when I look at restriction, I always want to get into the mindset, how Gosha has taught all of us what else is possible. I want to look for the light at the end of the tunnel. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
But I do know that this country needs to stick to the basics. I think the July 4th celebration was a nice shot in the arm if people could remember what July 4th stands for, because I did the United States chart. And so, with in fact, it was 7.
Yeah, and it's a Cancer, so it's a homebody, right?
Right. But our country's in a 6th year this year. And you know what a 6 stands for? It stands for unity. It stands for family. It stands for responsibility. And people of really saying to themselves, I don't care what anybody else tells you or what a news station says or what a newspaper says. All it is I believe, like Lou Holtz does. Is this the right thing to do? Is this right? Is it wrong? Is it up? Is it down? It's real simple. It doesn't have to be convoluted, and you don't have to be, just collective thinking here. I think that this time of this responsibility that our country's in this year is teaching us to be responsibly in all different areas, including thinking and what's the right thing to do. That's what a 6 drives. And it's not always a peaches and keen, but I feel July, August, and September, according to the United States charts of what's going on this year, there is turbulence in July, August, and September. So what I'm saying to people, stay positive, pray. I'm a big believer of prayer and affirmations. You know that, Jimmy. You're on the same page with
Sure.
me.
Mhm.
And I think if we all pray and we all affirm that, that this presence of God is in charge of straightening out all this chaos and all this turmoil and this, and getting us on an even keel here. I'm praying for these small businesses. They're having a tough rodeo here.
Mhm.
So but I do feel, here's the good news. The good news is that that it's all going to work out to be even better. I feel like there is like a rainbow coming.
Oh, that's good. Oh, we
I
need a
do feel
rainbow.
that. Yeah.
When you say all that too, I do get hits for financial probably about the second week in October. That could be, who knows, a correction in the market, whatever. I don't get that it's good. It would certainly be a bad thing, but maybe, just depends on the term good or bad. It's more of a correction. And then I feel like right around Thanksgiving, it's going to somehow get a little bit better. So
Well, I think
that's
October is going to be good.
probably
I
the
think
one. Yeah.
October is number one. It's in a one pinnacle.
Okay.
The United States is in a one pinnacle starting in October. So I think this is where things are going to start right, because I really think when I see this number, the pinnacle for July, August, and September is chaotic. But
Mm.
something's going to come to light here through the chaos people are going to go, oh dear God. And getting information so they can start thinking or making sense of whatever that, I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I'm just telling you that from all this turmoil will come the answers. And it might get a little rougher than what it's been, but I do feel the outcome is going to be super great.
Well, that's good. Yeah. And so I thought I'd ask you about that. I think it's very educational for anybody watching this show too, because you look at the country as in July 4th is a Cancer sign. And that's about home and hearth and family and all that. So we're pretty knee deep in all that. So makes sense. So
Well, I think it was a good history lesson if people would go back and look at some of the history that was repeated on the July 4th, the weekend where they had all these shows coming out. I think it was really great to talk about, the history of some of the people that made this country great, and we have the best minds here. We do, we can't get into the negatives here. Do you know what I'm saying? So
sure.
it's really positive. I think the challenges that come up with the July 4th, 1776, in this universal year, that's a 4, which a 4 wants balance. A 4 wants a strong foundation. A 4 does not want chaos. Okay, they want organization. Okay, that's what our country is screaming for by their birth date. The challenge for our country on July 4th, 1776 this year is people having it's got to be balanced. It's got to be harmony. It's got to be like the scale where it's not tilted. It's got to be where your patience is not gone. You have to have patience, and it's all through starting. It started in April, which doesn't surprise me because I'm looking right at the numbers right here.
That was my next question. You should.
I'm looking right at it. So it started in April. It started in April, and it's going to go all the way to the end of the year. And people
cards for the USA. Throw cards for the USA. Check that out. Right.
Well, I got these beautiful.
See what shows up. Yeah.
Look at this, Jim. I got some new cards for you today. You're going to love it. Let's see if I can get it. Look at that, Spirit of the Animal cards. Look at that.
Oh, I like that. I like the dragonfly. That's always about
this was brought to me because I'm a big Native American aficionado, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so I use my regular cards, of course, because nobody reads those anymore. And that's what
Right.
predicted your little baby there. But I like these to add to it because they do give some wisdom here. So let's see what we come up with.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I'll just do a little mini reading for the U.S.
yeah.
of A.
Well, it's kind of like a
love it.
universal reading. I
We
like
need
to
it.
do it for
People need to hear it. They need to be encouraged. I love all that. It's pretty.
Yeah. So let's see what we come up here. I'm going to do 3 because that's always good for spirituality. So let's see what we come up with here. I love this. This is so perfect for my numerology for the country. Rebirth.
Yeah.
Okay,
Got,
this is the butterfly.
butterflies and all that. Yeah, my
Look at
mother
that.
always loved
Can you
that.
see it?
That's awesome.
Can you see it good?
Yep.
Look
I
at
love
that. Rebirth.
Mhm.
And we have to be mindful. I want to talk about this for a minute because, butterfly is a very interesting tool in my metaphysical studies. You think about a caterpillar, okay? It crawls up the stem and it shrinks down to a little quarter of an inch, right? And it wraps itself in this chrysalis, and for whatever time it's there, it liquefies and turns into a butterfly. So it went in as one insect and came out a beautiful expression of the caterpillar, which is the butterfly. It's the same thing with us, it's transformation. I feel this goes perfect for what I was working with for our country and for what people are feeling right now. We have to remember our challenge for the country is patience. If people lose patience, guess what happens? You get discombobulated.
Mhm.
Okay. So what helps patience is faith, right?
Got it. Yeah.
Faith. So now let's see what our second card is. Oh my gosh, you're gonna love it, Jim. Let's see if I can get this straight here. Love.
Yes. Okay. It's got a little deer in it. That's cute.
Yeah, that's the deer. And
Mhm.
it's all about love. Love is the answer to almost everything, really, when you think about it.
That's
You know,
cool.
we can love even things we don't like because they mean something to somebody else, right? Or loving ourselves first. I think no school teaches us to love ourselves first. Okay. But the message on this is be gentle with yourself.
Right.
Everybody's frustrated. Not everybody, but you know what I'm talking about. A lot of people are going through frustrating times. And it says, you heal with the power of love. And that's a fact because love does conquer all. It really, truly does. See the light in all things. Acknowledge your self-worth with grace.
Love that.
I love grace. I knew you'd love this. And oh my goodness. Now we have the guardian.
Bunch of birds, huh?
That's black bear.
Oh, black bear. I see it. Looks like there's
See
birds.
that black bear?
Yeah.
And see the birds,
I
and
do.
how the unity and how the bears are guarding like the little nest of the birds and stuff like that. We also have to be the guardians of our heart, mind, and soul. And I think that this is a really good, when I think of Jimmy Mack healing, I think about healing on many different levels, body, mind, and soul, and when my motto is readings with the heart, and that's really true because it's body, mind, and soul as well too. So with this, the guardian says here, gentle and wise protector, give me your comfort and power. Help me protect the ones I love and awaken my intuition to guide me.
Amen to that. We need that.
Isn't that beautiful?
It is. It really is. That's great.
I'm inspired to do another one. So let's see. This is interesting. The cougar. And it's about being
assertiveness. Yeah.
Assertive. In other words, don't get depressed. Don't get into a neutral position where you don't know if it's up, down, in, or out. Right? But make it, be assertive. I like this, and this is in my work when I do my counseling and I do my readings. Good for me, not good for me. Healthy for me, not healthy for me. That's being assertive so that you're a good guardian of your soul. And that's really what it's all about, is when I do the numerology, I'm reading your soul. You know, your name is your blueprint. That's how you're registered in heaven. And your birth date becomes very predictive, just like we did the United States today, you and I.
Mm-hmm. Right. Very
Okay.
important.
And I think it's important for us to take a peek at that, you know. And when I look at what's going on in September, it's going to be all about families. And it's going to be about, because that September is a 9 month and that's a universal number. It is also very highly spiritual. And it's
Mm-hmm.
also a number that forces you to let go the negatives and bring in the positives, and seeing what really serves you well. So September is going to be very, very interesting for what you think, what you say, how you act,
Right.
and family, your responsibility to yourself, to your family, to the world, to your job. That's what September is going to bring. Now, right now, August is going to be a little turbulent. I can tell you in the next couple of weeks, you know, people are going to have to buckle up here.
Mm.
Okay. And keep their, you know, keep level and keep balanced here. I think there's going to be some news or some, I don't know what it is, but all I can tell you with the number that's in that pinnacle for that month, what that month represents, is that it's not going to be anything that's planned. It's going to come quick, it's going to come fast, and it could be a little volatile.
Mm. Well, you and I are Leos for the month of August, so I hope we at least have good birthdays.
Well, our numbers are different because let me see what year you're going to be, what you're doing right now. So,
And folks, we will get to your questions. I know there's people lining up here. Be sure and give us your date of birth. You could say Freddie and, you know, 10/3 or something like that, but at least let us know.
now, you know what's great about your month, Jimmy? Okay, you're good. You're in a 1 month, so you're good to go, honey.
Oh, good. Thank God.
This is like rocket fuel.
Okay, good.
You know, for what was, you know, causing you a little bit of maybe pressure or confusion or whatever in 2 months ago. So that would make it what, June, beginning of July kind of thing. That's all behind you. That was
that's
all
good.
served its purpose. But now it's like rocket fuel. So move forward. And your September looks really good as well too. It's going to be all about, you know, balance, and that's, I think, where your work's going to come into the healing aspect. Okay, so
Awesome.
I know when I go into that cycle, my phone is ringing off the hook with.
That's me all the time anyway, but yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you for that. That's very helpful. And, you know, folks need to tap into what's really going on now and again and take the politics out of it and the COVID out of it and what's really happening, right? And so it's very interesting, I think. And, you know, I mean, I think we can all agree we love our country. You know, we might disagree on other things, but to love the country and hope the best for everybody involved, that'd be great. So,
well, you know what? We're all God's children, and we're all entitled to free will, and we're also entitled to our own opinion. And just because someone here thinks this way and I think that way, so what? It's no big whoop.
No, you're a trooper about that. That's for sure. Well, we'll ask Tiffany. We'll pop up some questions here. I think she has Yvonne has a question, and we'll find out perhaps on her date of birth and whatnot. Here we go, Yvonne. All right. She's, if you can read that, it's November 21st, 1955. Okay, good.
Right. Yvonne, let's see what's going on with you this year. Because your numbers change all the time. So we have November 21. That's a 32. So that's, you know, Yvonne, this is kind of really like, I went through, we all go through this cycle. This is like an 18-month cycle for you. And so it involves kind of like if you were going into an attic that you put people, places, things, emotions, events up there for the last 8 years. And you're going to go through it and you're going to say, this is a keeper or treasure. I love it. This I don't know. I'm going to put it over here. and this is definitely going. And that's what you need to sort through so that you can clear yourself, because 2021 is going to be a little rocket fuel, just like what Jimmy's going through right now. And right now, this is a good month for you to do anything financial, or if you're going to purchase anything, this is a good month for you to do that. And if there's a work situation going on, which I don't know, let's see here. I've had a challenge.
Mainly eyes. I think she's talking about her right
eye. Eyes. Okay.
7
with her eyes. Hold on a second here. I feel like it's something that changed. It's you've gotten a couple different diagnoses or a couple different things here. What are you picking up, Jimmy, here? Because I feel like there's a couple different things going on with her.
Vision challenges since birth. So right eye, I mean, I could spend a half hour easily on eyes. I will tell you right now, we'll at least strengthen all that. It doesn't test as weak, actually. It tests as pretty strong. Then I would go to optical nerves, and those are weak, and I'm strengthening those. And then I jump to brain, and that's kind of weak, and we're strengthening that. So there you go. And, you know, it's okay to wear glasses. I got glasses. My friend, my doctor friend that's been doing this longer than me, he wears glasses, and, you know, we consider ourselves pretty darn good healers. But I can tell you my prescription has gotten more slight over the years, which is amazing. So I have had great luck with eyes. And you can actually go through the eye chart, even off Google, if you know, put in the position of the eye chart. We can actually figure out and strengthen weakness upon what's going on, and then strengthen that as well. So I do like that. I also like Indium. It's INDIUM, and you can look that up. Indium XL is one of the best, but you can get it off eBay or Amazon. It's an actual supplement. It strengthens the hair, the fingernails, and the eyes, actually. It's number 49 in the elemental chart of chemistry, and it's called Indium, INDIUM. So look into that as well. Even that could help you. And you also test, weirdly, they're whispering in my ear, for eye bright. And that looks like a flower. It's an herb that's been used for forever to help vision. So eye bright would also help you. And I'm sending you healing right now, Yvonne, so that things can and will improve. So I hope that helps you. We appreciate you writing in for sure. So we'll see what Tiffany has to offer us next there. Thanks, Yvonne. We're glad you IM'd. I could easily spend a half hour on each eye. That's just part of it, you know. So we appreciate that, but we appreciate you writing in as well. As we age too, what happens is we start out with basketballs. That's what our eyes look like, and over time they end up being footballs. So with age, it ends up getting a little squished out, if you will. It starts out like this, and then it starts going like that. And so that's when people need the little cheaters and the readers and whatever. But, you know, at the end of the day, that's a small price to pay. But we could spend some real time on that, Yvonne. So just so you know, but we had some corrections and things just now that can only help you. So keep that in mind. So thank you. So we'll see what Tiffany has to bring up for us next. And we'll see who else is there as well. And eyes, you know, gosh, it's so important. The vision, all the senses, and, you know, always important to increase all that. And I also find that when people have a weakness, perhaps even in their hearing or their eyesight, it's amazing. A lot of times their third eye will crank up and they'll be even more intuitive. So it's very interesting how spirit can do that sort of thing. Make sense?
It does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very cool. So, anywho, all right. So, hi.
Hello.
It's her saying hi. That's sweet. That's our executive producer, Reverend Tiffany White Sage Woman, for which we would not be here today without her doing everything behind the scenes. So, thank you for that, because Joanne and I, neither one would bother.
Exactly.
Right?
Because we're the Leos.
Facilitators.
We might have an idea, but we need somebody who can do the thing.
That's right. Sandy Bittinger's joke is, I got to drive the talent, we got to feed the talent, we got to help the talent. So that's our joke, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm as far away from that ego as you can get, but we laugh about it anyway. So
Exactly.
ever drive the talent to lunch, as long as I'm buying, it's good. So love that. Hey, I appreciate even the update on America. That's helpful and encouraging, really.
I always try to look at,
don't you think too with cancer, it's always a roller coaster ride with cancer? It seems that way to me.
well, you have to understand cancer, the sign Cancer, and people who are born under the sign of Cancer are very, very emotional people. And usually when Cancer rolls around, what I have seen, and numerically, remember, it's a 6 too. So it's about nurturing, you know, or not, or if you're not nurtured, boy, I'll tell you what, it'll rear its ugly head. Cancer can be very painful, little cycle too. But what it does is it forces you to kind of really see things as they are without the veil of indecision or the way things really are. You know, a lot of times when we're confused or we're hurt, you know, we kind of go within and get in a shell, you know, of a protection. But really, that's not really protecting. It's hiding so that we need to confront good for me, not good for me, healthy for me, not healthy for me. So important. Sometimes people are a lesson or a blessing, you know.
Right.
Sometimes situations are a lesson or a blessing. We have to know to identify that. People need to start saying, that's a blessing. Look at my shirt. Blessed. See?
Right.
You know, you know, you have to learn to label things differently than you were taught in school. Is it a lesson or is it a blessing? Is it an up or is it a down? Is it an in or is it an out?
Right. Funny. Apparently she lost power, so that's very interesting. Anyway, I'm sure it'll come back up again, or she's running on battery now. The storm is up in their neck of the woods. So the storm that bypassed Florida is all the way up New York, Connecticut, up that way. So that's what she's experiencing up there right now with the power loss. So Melissa is next. So we'll put Melissa up there, and you can see that, Melissa Park.
Okay.
And that's March 30th, 1971. Any message is appreciated.
Melissa, you're in a 1-year news cycle. In the last 18 months, you know, you really need to kind of do an inventory. It's kind of like what I was telling Yvonne too, that really it's rocket fuel for you right now. It's new beginnings. It's about lessons learned. It's about forging ahead. It's about doing new things. It's about not repeating past mistakes. It's about identifying what is not healthy and what is healthy. Whether it's a thought, it's a word, it's a person, it's a deed, it's a relationship. You need to hit a square on like an umpire in a baseball game. He calls it the way he sees it. It's a ball, a strike, a single, a double, a triple, out of the park, safe, home run. We as souls, you know, we want to be good people, so we'll put ourselves aside to please everybody else.
Right.
We forgot how to be an umpire. So I say to you, this is a real good cycle for you. August is kind of like where you need to do some completion of some things that you've been putting on the back burner or you have uncompleted. And then when you get into September, you're on to a much more positive path. This could be a little emotional testing going on for you in August. But it's not a bad thing, because I always say when I'm being tested emotionally, I need to learn something. I never get to the part where I get down into the basement of depression or, you know, totally off the map. I go, wait a minute here. I'm supposed to be learning something. What is it? Is it a person, place, or thing? Is it good for me? Not good for me.
Right.
I mean, what's my lesson here? What do I need to learn? Was I too trusting? Did I not have enough information? Did I not look at the big picture. Did I do the pros and the cons? And that's where you really need to be, Melissa. You can't, there's no flip-flopping for you this year. You've already gone through the ups, the downs, the ins and the outs for the last 18 months. Now it's time to get onto a level ground and run.
Good to know for her, right?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
she's got, so a bunch of us have rocket fuel, Joanne, not just me.
No. Well, it all depends what your number is, you know.
Right.
And it all also goes by what is the universal year that's going on. And then I always look at what's going on with your universal month, because then it changes your dynamics of your birth date. And so every month, every week is a different reading when I do when I do the numbers here, because I'm it's your soul, it's
Sure.
your birthday, it's how you're registered in heaven.
Yeah, I tell everybody it's always like the lava lamp. It's got this moving to it, and just like, the blood pressure, blood sugar, and whatever, there's always something going on. So love that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Melissa, for writing in. Angie is next. Hi, Angie. All right, DOB there, September 16. Any information on romantic partner coming in would be appreciated. All right, Angie, we'll see what we can do for you. Joanne's great at that.
I am.
And that's September 16. That's is that a Virgo?
Yeah, it looks like it's a Virgo.
9/16.
Is that a Libra? No. Is that a Libra? No. It's a Virgo. Yeah.
Virgo.
Here's the thing, Ange, is that right now this year is kind of like you're ready for a relationship. I get that. But if you've heard me working with Jimmy, and and I do get into relationships, and it's not like I want to call myself an expert, but I'm pretty darn good at relationships. Okay. And I'm good at calling it the way I see it. So if you do find somebody, you better get a hold of me with the name and the birthday. But I do feel October, November, and December. But I want you to get very clear. Do two things, and I want you to do what do you deserve list, and then I want you to make another list which is non-negotiable. Okay? Because if we've been in any kind of relationships with someone else, it was a lesson. Because if we're not with them now, obviously something didn't work out. Is it, good for me, not good for me, healthy for me, not healthy for me. But it gives you a real good way to retool yourself. You don't have to get dinged up like notches on a belt, and you're a gunslinger. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, okay, I already know what that's like, but that's not the type of person I want in my next choice. Okay. And also, Jimmy and I are both big believers in affirmation. So affirming what you do want is very, very powerful as well, too. So thank you, God. Only send me the highest, the finest, and the best for my highest, greatest good. That's how that's my affirmation. Send me the best for my greatest and highest goods. This or something greater. Okay. But I do feel October, November, and December, I do see a relationship. But you have to be a really good detective.
Yeah, they're pretty good at that, Virgo. She's got really big hits around the holidays. That test's really strong. Believe it or not, Angie, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 9/20. That's really strong for you. I tell all the beautiful women, if you get an invitation to go to a barbecue or a party or whatever, and you don't feel like going, that's when you should go. A lot of times our programming and disbelief can keep us from even going to something like that. So accept all invitations to go out. You can be one intro away from tall, dark, and oh my God, right? And then you find out, whatever, you live in Michigan, and they go, oh, this is my cousin, he's from Chicago. You go, oh, Chicago, and I'm in Michigan, it's never going to work. And he goes, yeah, and I'm moving here next month. And you go, yay, and you're back up again, right? So isn't that funny? But that's the kind of thing that can happen. And I'm telling you, Angie, it's always like 5 jumps away. It's so bizarre how things can happen. So keep that in mind too. We're glad you wrote in. Thank you very much. And keep us posted. Also, I do have an audio MP3. It's all about love and relationships. So look for that in the shop too. That could only help accelerate things for you. Donna is next, so we'll chat with Donna. You can see her date of birth there as well. Joanne,
I do.
Spiritually, what are my next best steps for my walk? Thanks for being here. Peace and blessings. Is she referring to a walk? What steps? Oh, I think she's talking about her spiritual walk. That's what she's thinking. I'm thinking of walks, marathons, and
Right.
5Kers.
What's interesting about Donna has an interesting dichotomy as a master numerologist that I am. I love, of course, I love my work. And so when I piece it together here, because I haven't done her whole name chart, but just by her birth date here, we have a very interesting dichotomy here, because you're fair, you like everything fair and balanced. You really don't like drama, and yet by the same token, you're a little firecracker, and you got sizzle. So and you don't like to be told what to do, how to do it, where to do it, or when to do it. But this year is all about you following your gut feeling. Jimmy and I encourage that. A lot of times you think about the times that when it came to people, places, and things, and you didn't follow that gut feeling, and you go, I should have listened. Darn, I knew that, or whatever.
Yeah.
But you've already gone through the hell and high water, because you didn't follow your gut. So that's where you are this year, is about what's really important. And you know what I think? A lot of people in the universe are going through that now, because we're going through stuff we never had to experience before. We never had a lockdown, or you could only go to certain stores, or you're wearing a mask, or you can't go to
anyway.
You can't go out to dinner, and
Right.
all this.
Movies. Yeah, we love the movies. So hopefully by the end of the month, maybe. I'm like,
Right.
Oh my God, give us the movies at least, right?
But I do feel, Donna, that you really need to get into, if you want to grow spiritually, it's the same thing with the computer, garbage in, garbage out. Jimmy and I'm a student of Florence Scovel Shinn, who Louise Hay and I studied the same. So I'm a big promoter of Louise Hay and Shinn. Okay, that's my foundation. And then, of course, I branch into Catherine Ponder. You can look into this. She's very, very good. I like her ideas on prosperity, and it's about thought as well as your soul. And if you want to get, spiritual, that's very, very good. That have walked the spiritual path.
Mm-hmm.
And they've gone through the clearing out of what's false and what's true. Okay, so I do feel this is a very perfect year for you to get into to study. But I would do audio. I'm picking up audio. I don't know what Jimmy gets, but I don't want you buying a book. Your inner voice is going to not even get you past chapter 2. So if you have audio, you know what I love about audio? Because my mind works sometimes fast. And I'm thinking one thing, and then I'm off on another thing, and I'm trying to listen to something. So you got that rewind button is everything. Okay.
Yeah. And we have a course online too, Donna, if you want to take that. It's a ton of audio. There's video in there and things to read, watch, and listen to. Very straightforward on how to fish. So whatever shows up for you next, that can only help, but you can check that out as well. All right. Thanks for your question, Donna. We'll move on. Next is Marcia. Hi, Marcia. Anything in the cards for me? Let's see. Birthday is November 2nd, 1960.
November 2nd.
1960.
Okay. Well, I really feel like this has been an interesting year, because this is a year for really where you should really have your power on, and cutting through what's not good for you and what is good for you. It's like with all this question marks that have been thrown at us, okay? we need clear answers here. And so I think you're the type of person right now that you're steady as you go. You're smart as a whip. This is a time to use your ingenuity along with your chutzpah and move forward, because this is a power year. And I do feel like some good things and new things are coming up October, November, and December. You're going to go through this July, August, and September. So we're through July. So you still have August and September. And if there's any emotional things or things that need to be weighed out, that's a time for you to address it, because you got the power to do it. No guilt, no fear, terrible companions. Okay. They were crunchers, they're killers. Guilt and fear need to be kicked out. But I do feel really, really good about this October, November, December. I feel that things will start being much happier. There will be some celebrations, and there will be also some new communication going on, whether it's a letter, phone call, emails, whatever. But there is good news in there. So that's what I will say for you, Marcia.
Thanks, Marcia. Nice little Scorpio there. Love it. Amy is next. Lots of folks on the call today. Love it. 1024. Wondering about work situation, please. Amy Flash. All right. So we'll see what Joanne has to offer on that.
I feel things are going to, right now it's a balancing act with you, Amy, okay? And there's a lot of changes involved here, and I always tell people when we're going through this, because I worked for a Fortune 500 company, I know all about change. They would change things at noon, and then at 2:00 they say, no, let's go back to doing it the way we did it at noon. So it's called flexible, and that needs to be your middle name right now. I know that there's been some miscommunication or not clarity that you went through April, May, and June. But where I'm feeling now, it's a little bit more balanced, and you just need to roll with the flow and stay positive. And I feel like when we get to October, November, and December, it's going to be much more balanced. You're going to do breathe a sigh of relief and feel more comfortable than you do right now. And I always say to my clients, this or something greater. If this isn't the best for me, okay, God, I'll hang in there. But, present what's for my highest and greatest good. And then you let God do the work, because who's got more power, you or God? Well, I know who's got more power. He's my source. So I know that's hard to do, because we want to adjust the dials, but remember, while we're adjusting the dials, we took it away from God. So, hello.
There you go. And Amy, I'll tell you, about the second week in October is what tests really strong for you. And I don't get that you're staying wherever you're working now. Maybe it's temporary. I don't get that at all, though. But you're going to change maybe mid-October to go do something else.
Yep.
So that tests super strong for me. And this, certainly would be a step up and improve over what you have now. So you'll live to see that and reach back out to us. But right before your birthday, I think things will vastly improve. You're just going to hear about something, could be on a job board, could be an old resume you sent out last year or something bizarre, but you're going to know it's going to be from spirit. It'll be unusual. So there you go. Mark my words, Amy. That's awesome. Isabel is one of our last folks here that we'll grab. All right, Isabel, we'll see what comes up for you. Isabel Palomino, 4/27/90.
Okay. Well, Isabel, this is a year, the turkeys can't get you down, because I really truly believe that you'll find a way to make things work out, because first of all, you don't like surprises, and you got a plan. So if this isn't working, you go to plan B or plan C. Again, I feel like, and I'm with Jimmy on this, it's November that I feel things are really going to be righted for you more in the November psychoanalysis. It's the third week. It's just before Thanksgiving. Good news or whatever. I don't know if it's going to be a letter or email, but it's something you've been working on that I feel that you're going to get confirmation. Okay. I don't know what Jimmy picks up on that, but
it's about the middle of November. Yeah. When you say email at Test Strong, it's not a voicemail or text. There'll be an email or something's going to vastly improve for you.
It's electronic of some sort.
Yeah, it's electronic. That's true. So look for that middle of, November. So be interesting. Right prior to Thanksgiving. So I'll give you something to be thankful for. Thank you, Isabel. I love it. Joanne always flies by. Thank you so much, my love. We appreciate you. One Leo to another. What a dream. And Deborah says, love this new format. The audio is clearer too. Thank you, Deborah. Oh my gosh. Well, I wish we had your date of birth. We'd give you a quick little snippet there. But join us here each week. We'll be here every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, of course, and we'll give you messages and healings all we can. So, Joanne, tell everybody how to get a hold of you, honey, for a deeper reading.
727-743-3400. And then you can get my website, which is Psychic Joanne, Joanne Leo.com. And also my Gmail, Psychic Joanne Leo @gmail.com.
Love that. Thank you, honey. Appreciate you. One Leo to another. We love you. You always bring it. And, thank you. Hey, folks, what an amazing show. Yes, thank you to all the viewers and everybody that's listening and watching. We're thrilled with the sound improvement. Be here every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern. We will bring you messages from Spirit, of course, and healings as they come up. So you can always visit my website, too. It's jimmymackhealing.com. Sign up for our weekly newsletter. I want to wish everybody the rest of your life will be the best of your life. Remember to make progress every day. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now.
Don't want the fun to end? Grab more refreshments. Then head over to the Goldylocks Productions YouTube channel. With the huge selection of shows, the fun doesn't have to end.